Welcome to the Medical Staff Voice Live. I'm Dr. Stan Frochtzwajg, Chief Medical Officer at Community Memorial Health System, and I'm joined today by Dr. Brad Barrows, pathologist. Welcome, Dr. Barrows.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you. It's a great opportunity for our medical staff and community to learn more about you and your practice. In order to do so, we have a few questions that will give us some insight and enlighten us as to the specifics of your specialty and what is it that that specialty entails. Mm-hmm. First of all, tell me a little bit about yourself. What brought you to Ventura? Where did you come from? What areas did you specialize in?
Sure.
Where did you do your training?
Sure, absolutely. So I grew up in a small little town out in the East County, San Diego, down in way Southern California. And I graduated high school there. Then I did my undergrad at UCSD in medical microbiology. And then after that, I got a master's in cellular and developmental biology at UCSD. And then started medical school up in the Bay Area at Touro University, College of Osteopathic Medicine. From there, I moved out to Houston for a residency in pathology at Baylor College of Medicine. After finishing that program, I was able to get back into California at UCSF for a surgical pathology fellowship. But I wanted to get closer to family, so I was lucky enough to get into the gastrointestinal and liver pathology fellowship at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center down in Beverly.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. That's you've had quite a journey in your training and your subspecialization. I did not know you had a master's as well.
Yeah.
That's great. That serves us well, undoubtedly. You have, interestingly enough, I don't mind mentioning, I know you have a subspecialization, as you commented to, in gastroenterology, which is a great boon to our area because we do a lot of gastroenterology, endoscopic biopsies, and a whole array of GI pathology. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, as well as the fact that you are a general pathologist?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do a lot of GI biopsies here, actually. A lot of colonoscopies are done here in our colonoscopy suite, and we do a lot of liver biopsies, actually, for medical liver disease, which is a key specialty of mine. And I noticed since I've started here, we've actually done quite a few more with a lot of the gallbladders that are removed now, and it's kind of a good thing if you ask me, because steatohepatitis is actually a disease that is becoming very prevalent in our population.
And not recognized as much as it should be, huh?
Exactly.
And a precursor to
Cirrhosis.
Yeah. And cancer.
Right, exactly.
So that's really a critical thing. So you are associated with a number of pathologists. Many people don't realize you are CMHS pathologists. We do not send the work out elsewhere except if we need second opinions.
Correct.
Or
Yeah.
in our cases, probably third or fourth or fifth opinions, because you guys in the pathology lab really review slides with one another.
Exactly. All the difficult cases we will review at our daily consensus conference. 3 o'clock every day we get around the multi-headed scope and we share our most difficult cases so we can really work out the best diagnosis for the patient.
You know, that's really an incredible opportunity. Most people don't realize that we offer that level of service. And I can speak personally, because I'm a practicing physician a couple days a week, I actually have referred patients for breast biopsy, and I get a call from you and your colleagues with the report before they are allowed to send it out. Now, this is at the discretion of pathologists, because most other places that do biopsies do not call the primary care doctors personally.
Right. Yeah, that's something that's really kind of fallen away, which is really kind of sad. I mean, we try to maintain that personal touch here. We think that it's important to keep in touch with the doctor, tell them exactly what we're seeing on the slide, and give them the opportunity to ask us any questions they may have about the pathology that we're seeing on the slides.
I think that's impressive. Also, I did a recent interview with a CAP survey pathologist from a hospital in Orange County, and she reminisced and lamented the loss of those personal services that we so readily apply.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's spectacular. So you've already given me a little bit of your subspecialization. You do pathology slide review for all ages, is that correct?
Absolutely, yep. all ages and basically all organ systems. So everything that comes in, we'll put it on a slide and look at it and come up with a diagnosis.
And I know that currently, how many pathologists do we have working in the department?
Right, so we actually just hired a new pathologist too, so we're now 4.
Wow, that's more than we've had for ever.
A while, yeah, for at least the past 5 years. Our newest pathologist is a cytopathologist. He just recently ended his fellowship. So cytopathologists are actually experts in identifying some of the smallest, or identifying pathology in some of the smallest biopsies we receive. So we're talking like fine needle aspiration, where you have like a few clusters of cells, and that's enough for them to come up with a diagnosis, benign versus malignant. So,
and I know that was a problem in the past when we had a paucity of cells from which to evaluate the origin of the disease.
Right. Yeah. I mean, some biopsies are not adequate enough, but I mean, he's good. He's really good. And he also does procedures too. So that is a new service that we're going to be adding to what we already offer here at the hospital. He can be called to go up and do a fine needle aspiration on your patient in the hospital, in their room. If they have a bump or a lump on their skin and you want to rule out metastatic carcinoma, or you want to get a sample for a culture or something, he is available to do that kind of thing for you.
I did not know that, and that's incredibly important to know, because we don't have that readily available otherwise in the hospital.
Right.
So that's really appreciated. What's interesting about that is that we also know that when we have a question about a pathology report that comes to our office, you guys are very available to discuss it with us. Quick phone call, ask for the pathologist, and we've got you on the line.
Absolutely. We pride ourselves on that point. If we are not in the gross room, we are at our desks and we're looking at the microscope. We spend 90% of our time at the microscope, and our phone's right next to it. We are happy to talk with you guys, to take a little break and just explain to you what we were seeing on the slide and why we came up with the diagnosis that we did, and maybe even help you out a little bit with additional studies that you may want to do with it as a result of the diagnosis.
Thank you. That's really critical information to share with our community. Your practice is restricted to Community Memorial Health System right now. You treat all ages, and we now have a pretty good understanding of what your specialty entails. I'm curious, do you have any interests outside of medicine or other areas? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I have probably too many hobbies. I do all kinds of active sports. I'm also an avid gardener. I recently took up growing orchids, so I've turned my bathroom into a botany museum practically. I mean, you can barely even walk in there now. I mean, I wakeboard, I snowboard, I did a little bit of kiteboarding. Haven't got back into that yet though, but mountain biking, hiking, I mean, I do everything I possibly can outside.
So you're in the right place for all that, aren't you?
Yes, yeah. I was really excited. One of my friends told me he wants to take me out spearfishing. I hadn't done that yet, so we're going to go out to the island sometime in the future and try that out.
I hear there's good lobster out there.
Oh, nice. Good to hear.
So now we go on to our third portion of this discussion, and it's my favorite. It's the this or that portion, where I'll ask you certain questions that have no right answer and really is a stream of consciousness.
All right.
First of all, early bird or night owl?
Absolutely early bird.
Oh, good for you. French fries or onion rings?
Onion rings.
There was no hesitation in that.
No, I've thought about it a little bit.
Famous person you might admire, and why do you admire them so?
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
If it doesn't come right to you, we can come back to it.
I would say like Leonardo da Vinci for being such a wonderful and amazing inventor.
Talk about a Renaissance man, somebody who has numerous interests.
Right, there you go.
Good for you. Excellent. No wonder you admire him. If you had a choice between two superpowers, invisibility or flying, which would be your preference?
Oh, absolutely flying. Yes.
Seems to be the universal response.
Yeah.
Your longest road trip? When was it? Where was that?
Gosh, that was probably when I was back 8 or 9 years old, and my parents took me all the way out to Mississippi to see my aunt and uncle out there. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
From Southern California?
From Southern California, all the way across Texas. My mom
Yeah,
said
what an
she
interesting
would
drive.
never do that again.
I presume you never did then.
Nope.
Podcast or reading a book? And if so, which one?
Reading a book, and I haven't done that in such a long time now. It's kind of crazy. But Crichton was one of my favorites back in the day.
Yes, I have to admit, mine as well. Driver or passenger?
Driver.
Your preference, doing the laundry or doing dirty dishes?
I end up doing both. But I guess I prefer doing dishes because there's usually less of that.
Good for you. All right, I like that. Time efficiency.
Yeah.
If you had not become a physician, what would your backup plan have been?
Oh, this is going to be weird. So it would have been firefighter, probably.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I really wanted to be one of those bomber pilots that drops the retardant on fires.
Yes, of course. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Which is somewhat dangerous work also. With
It is, absolutely.
Updrafts and so on.
Yeah, but being in Ramona, they had one of the CAL FIRE airports out there, so.
So that's why
Yeah.
you had that
Yeah, I
interest.
grew up with that. Yeah,
Good for
idea in
you.
my mind.
So what would people probably find the most interesting thing about you that they would not necessarily learn from your resume alone?
Well, I could tell you that I'm probably altering hummingbird migration patterns right now because I'm probably feeding about 1,000 hummingbirds a day. I'm filling up at least 10 feeders a day every single day when I go home right now. It is insane, but it is a wonderful thing to just sit on your back patio and have them flying all around you.
Okay, I'm coming by with my grandchild, all right?
Yeah,
I just
you
wanna let
should.
you
You
know
should.
that. Oh my God. Thank you for tuning in to learn more about Dr. Brad Barrows. For more information on all the services and specialties offered at Community Memorial Health System, visit cmhshealth.org and be sure to like and subscribe for more from your community health system. Thank you, Dr. Barrows.
Thank you.
Welcome.